When I wake up, I am horrified, scared by what seems so real. I've had them for quite a while now. I believe they are driving me insane. They are only nightmares, my parents say, but I do not listen to them. They call nightmares. I call visions. Memories, even. But how? Oh God! How could something so horrible be real? Maybe I am just different. Here, where everything is supposed to be perfect, everyone is guaranteed to be happy, and no one could ever be miserable, except for me. Everyone thinks I am a mistake, an error in the system. But why? Why me? Did I do something wrong? I always followed the rules, didn't I? Look, Jonah, explained Mr. Croster in an adult-like manner. I think that all you have to do is just relax. You seem well stressed. Why don't you go home and take a nap? But, Mr. Croster, sleeping is how I get these nightmares. Jonah, I think I need... Jonah! God damn it, Mr. Croster, please, I need help. Jonah, you will leave my office immediately and call your parents. Yes, sir. So Jonah did what his guidance counselor, Mr. Croster, had said. Fleeing in frustration, he left the office and called his parents. His mother, Miss Peterson, showed up at the door only a few minutes later, a frustrated and hopeless expression on her face. 20 minutes later, they were home. Miss Peterson went straight to her office, and Jonah went to the basement to do his homework. He never did it in his bedroom, at least not anymore, due to the fact that it represented much more than the place to sleep in. It made him think of the visions that haunt him every night. Later in the evening, Miss Peterson knocked on the basement door and opened it slowly, the hinges screeching as the door swung. Okay, it's bedtime. Now, Jonah. I know, but I can't. No, I can't. You can't just not sleep. Jonah, just calm down. Everything is going to be fine. It's not, though. I can't do this anymore. I need help. Go to bed, okay? You can't do this every night. But don't do this to me, you little... Do you want me to die? What? Mom, are you okay? Just go to sleep. Now! So Jonah, terrified, went to his room. He opened the bedroom door and sat on his bed like his mother asked. He did everything she commanded, except he tried not to fall asleep. Maybe if I just don't sleep one night, it will go away, Jonah thought. But Jonah did fall asleep. He was too tired that night. And so, the nightmare began. There sat Jonah on a cold table stained with blood. He could barely see anything, for the room was almost pitch black. Although it was in the middle of the day, the impenetrable walls kept the light from shining in. He could see the faces of 12 people, who looked like teenagers, surrounding him. He was sure there were more, but he could only see these, the ones with blood on their face. They were crying hysterically, and they wouldn't stop. He was surprised because they didn't even ask him for help. Jonah, who was right there in front of them, had his arms and legs free and was not chained up like the others. He decided that he would try and help them anyway, but he couldn't move or even speak. He just sat there and did nothing. Nothing except watch the unspeakable horror. The most awful, most disgusting thing imaginable. A man dressed in all black walked out of the shadows, carrying an axe bigger than him. He went over to one of the teens. You, the man said quietly. No, please stop, the child screamed. Jonah tried even harder to help this time, but he still couldn't do anything. The man calmly took the child to a table and strapped him down so he couldn't move. "It will all be over soon," he sighed. He then swung his axe with the force of a bull at the child's neck, severing the head in one shot. After the killing, for a second there was complete silence. No rattling of chains, footsteps, or even screams. The children had even stopped crying. But soon the silence was over, and their sobbing resumed. Jonah was crying like he had never cried before. He was drenched in tears, yet still he couldn't say anything. He was speaking gibberish. Crap, was he here the whole time? The man asked himself. The man turned to Jonah. "Don't worry, it's gonna be okay, Jonah. Daddy is just doing his job. Let's bring you into the other room." You don't have to pretend you love the thing, Harold. It's just a baby. It's not gonna remember anything," said a tall man in a blood-stained lab coat. "I know, but I might as well love him as long as he lives. I'm going to kill him too eventually anyway." Jonah woke up in the middle of the night, covered in sweat and face all red. For the first time, he did not scream himself awake. He was actually quite calm. Everything made more sense now. He knew the dreams were not dreams at all, but real memories. He knew for sure the horrible truth. His dad was a murderer. His calmness started to die, and he became very stressed. He tried to keep himself together and came up with a plan. Jonah would knock his father out with a baseball bat and tie him up. He would then ask him questions to find out why. He believed that the answers would solve everything. Moving quickly through the dark house, Jonah snuck to the basement, grabbed his old baseball bat and duct tape, and headed for his dad's room. "Jonah," greeted Mr. Peterson. "Dad, you're awake?" Jonah questioned. "May I ask you what you are doing here?" "I wanted to ask you a question. How can you live with yourself?" "What? How do you live with what you did?" "Jonah, I don't know what you're talking about." "Stacy, get over here." Johnny began to become very fierce. He had never been so angry before. "You're a murderer," Jonah screamed. "Jonah, listen, I can explain." "No, put that bat down," said Mr. Peterson, terrified. "I'll put it down after you tell me what is going on." "Stacy, now!" Jonah yelled as he got ready to swing. "Please don't do this. They'll kill me." Who will kill you?" Mr. Peterson began to cry. The aliens! Oh God!" "What? Why did you kill those children? How could you?" "They would kill me if I didn't. The aliens, they would have killed me. And wait a second. How do you remember when you were a baby?" "Yes, I remember all of it. I'm sorry. This planet, which served us well for so many years, is not like what it used to be. Thousands of years ago, there were billions of people. When the aliens came, they killed most of our population, and the rest they put into, well, farms." "Farms?" "Yes, we are the aliens' farm animals. When we turn 18, all but a few are slaughtered and eaten. The rest, like me, they keep to kill the humans for them." "But still, why didn't you fight back or do something? You could have saved so many lives. We, the people of this town, could have started a rebellion. We have the numbers. Even if it meant dying, wouldn't you do it for the children's sake?" "They were too strong before. I was just waiting for the right time." "And when is that? When will you do it?" I just did. Bang! Went a gun from the other side of the street, and there lay Mr. Peterson, dead on the ground.